Well, good morning. Thanks for joining Jonathan and Julie D in the morning. Good morning, Julie. How are you?
Wonderful. Hello, Jonathan. Grand Rising.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day out here. And we've got a special guest this morning, Jim Price from the Jim Price Show. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning, folks. Good to see you guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, good to see
Welcome.
you. Actually, I don't think I've ran into you besides the American Fest. Before that, it was a truth tour out there in Tennessee.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. It's that was kind of a neat little trip. Me and Julie got to do a little bit of Tartarian exploring in the downtown Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee area, finding the Parthenon and the Greek goddess of Nike and Athena, which is, again, guys, don't worry about that. That's just all made out of straw and corn husks. Don't worry about those things. So it was a neat trip that we got to do out there, but
Yeah.
it's been great. Yeah, it's been a heck of a journey, this whole truth tour of things and all the different things we've done over the years. It has been years now. It's not been months.
I know. It has
Yeah.
been years. I didn't think it's going to take this bloody long.
Yeah.
Well, it's amazing. It's amazing how fast time flies.
Absolutely.
So, Jim, I've been down on the borders doing a lot of reporting. I've got another event coming up soon. We do live broadcasts right from the border. We just got done deploying our active military down there, which they're not talking about on the main news, but
Right.
we're exposing it. And they keep talking about how our borders are secure. Our borders are not secure. I mean, I grant we got military there, but the reason why they're there is because we got a heavy presence of the cartel down there.
There you go.
Mhm.
And I believe the Trump administration is about to launch a full-scale attack. What's your thoughts on everything going on right now with all this protesting in our borders?
Well, when you talk about that, we'll pull back just a little bit from the idea of what the border is. Now, granted, the border is, it's not like 5 feet where you just put your hands out and you can keep it closed. It's
Right.
Obviously, a long distance, right? And going over terrain and things like that. Now, saying that we can secure that 100%, yes, we've secured it to the point of, we're not having the millions of people every month coming through.
Right.
But let me give you a little bit of a sidestep. Remember Maduro, that bus driver who became president of Venezuela?
Yep.
One of the richest mineralized countries on earth.
Mhm.
The bus driver became a president, then said, "No, I'm not going to leave." Well, they sent 20 guys in and they killed 200. Now, by the way, our military landed on a military base in Venezuela.
Yep.
They were able to go in, get Maduro inside of his private facility, pull him out. They killed 200 of their own. But what I'm pointing out there is that Maduro was being ran by the cartel. You said the cartel earlier, which was a great segue to that. So the idea is that,
Right.
yes, we have the cartel running Mexico. We have cartel running Venezuela and Central America and other parts of that region, and even all the way down into Brazil and other parts of that. We know those things are true. But what Trump is doing is that he said to the Mexican president, remember, she gave him we don't need you. We have our own military,
Yep.
He's doing that as I'm a hostage. We have our own military. Mr. Trump, please do not come to our country.
Right.
What he's doing is going, okay, I see you. Wink, wink. I think we're going to see that, yes, we're going to be pushing back against our cartel, but as a native Arizonan and a person who, still wishes that Arizona kind of got themselves together, because you guys have lost your way here recently.
Mhm.
The cartel is in Mesa, Arizona. The cartel is in Gilbert, Arizona. The cartel is in the Valley and in Tucson, and they're money laundering through fake real estate transactions. And this has actually been exposed already 2 years ago.
Yes.
It's already going on in our own country. We know that to be true. What has happened in Mexico is the cartel has taken over at the presidential level, and Trump knows that, and he's going to try to allow us to go in there and give the reinforcements, allow the president to take her power back and let them have that. Now, that's my long play. That's my long view of it.
Mm-hmm.
Will it work out that way? I don't know, but I do know that we are changing how the world is operating. If you look at the tour through the Middle East, you look at the EU, you look at Davos, you look at, hey, Canada's going to be the 51st state. Now we got
Mm-hmm.
Greenland, we have Iceland, we have all these stuff, all these things. How we are operating the earth is not the same anymore. Things are changing, and we need to be the part that says, I see that change. I welcome that change. I want that change, that energy you're going to bring into yourself, but also push it back out. But if you keep harboring in on that negativity of not seeing the way you want to see it, well, that's selfishness. And that's that sin nature of the heart. So we've got to be careful that we don't try to put our own ideas into the future of what we think the world peace should look like, but accept the victories and the glory that we do see happening. We do see that Maduro is out of there. That means we can have an effective change. We do see that now we're going down to Cuba. We do see that Canada's getting themselves together. We do see that Greenland or Iceland is absolutely necessary. Again, everybody's like, well, why do you want this stuff? Oh, there's a spaceship trapped in the ice. That's what it is. Guys, listen, we have had our pants down trying to, box somebody. I don't know what the analogy is here, but everybody has seen our dingling, and we're very exposed.
Yeah.
And the whole world knew that. Biden knew it, Kamala knew it, Russia knew it, China knew it. But everybody was waiting for what? The Great Return, which was we had to show everybody what it was like. See, we saw Trump, and then we had to show what it was like not having Trump, because everybody has a short-term memory loss problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now we're back into it again. And so there's a cycle of things I think are going to happen. And I want us to remember that the victories that Trump gives us, like the 10% on capped on interest on credit cards, guys, we are running the world differently. Remember to hold on to that 10% because you don't want to give it back in a year. Remember to hold on to Cuba and hold on to Venezuela and hold on to Canada, because those are our neighbors. You know, if I've got a drug den right next to my house over here, I'm not very safe, am I? I got to make sure that even my neighbors are safe to me. Even my neighbors are, hey, are you okay? Is something happening? Can I help you at all? And that's where we should be more of that type of a cop of the world, not the cop of the world. We just go around killing people because it helps Raytheon stock prices.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. That you just said that so good. You're spot on. So, we have just seen so much corruption out there going on right now, all around the country. Just amount of. If it was you or I, Jim, we'd be sitting in a federal prison cell. I guarantee.
Oh yeah.
But these, for whatever reasons, we're not seeing the rest that we should be seeing right now. They've got all the evidence in the world. We've brought this up many times on our broadcast. I truly believe that the Democrats have a lot of dirt on the Republicans, and that's what's keeping them out of jail. Because other than that, the world sees it. We all see the corruption.
Yes.
And it's like the American people right now are so fed up because nobody's seeing arrest.
Right.
And that's really what it's coming down to. What does it take for this start kicking in gear for the American people to see justice?
Yeah, well, that's again. Notice that, like the Palisades fire. Notice the Maui fire. You notice the different things. When things happen, the internet now is so good that I actually know now that Alex Pretty, or whatever his name is, he actually went to college with the good chick who got shot in her car.
Well, really?
Oh yeah, no, they went to college together.
Oh, I didn't know that tidbit. Interesting.
Oh yeah, it gets worse. It gets worse.
Or better.
they're part of the same Signal chat. They were all on the same Signal chat, and some other guy that just got assaulted or whatever, the guy who bit the finger off the guy. Well, that guy that bit the finger off, he was also their friend as well. But also Alex Pretty Well, he actually has a broken rib from the week prior with a medical report of saying that he had contact with ICE and broke his rib in a week prior to the incident. But now we see that AI is being involved in that whole thing where the head of the ICE agent isn't there and all these other things. So when we are seeing the point that we say, well, there's fraud over there or there's an incident over there, notice that there's a little spark and then all of a sudden the whole curtain just gets pulled back, right? Now we're seeing that California doesn't know how to store water well. And we know that they don't keep track of this and they don't keep track of that. But then Gavin Newsom says to Dr. Oz puts out a video yesterday. Hey, supposedly in this building right here, which was like a 2,000 square foot 2-story building, there's 47 hospice facilities in this building. And Gavin Newsom clapped back and said, "Oh, I've already gotten rid of all the hospice fraud and everything out there. Don't worry about that, Dr. Oz. I appreciate your help. Just say thank you."
Yeah,
guys. The little light of mine story, that in the church, when you go to Sunday school, this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine.
Yep.
When we think about when we shine a little light on Minnesota, whoosh, all of a sudden there's a lot of evil, right? We shine a little light on California, whoosh, there's a whole bunch of evil going on, right? And this is what the light of us does. But the fraud, guys, when we talk about $9 billion in Minnesota being the cap of the fraud, that's not true.
No.
And we know that the California one's going to be hundreds of billions.
Oh, easy.
So the point when we think about all these different parts of the whole scheme of things, yes, we're seeing all these fraud things, but it only takes a little spark for us to go, hey, well, what? All of a sudden the keyboard warriors that are true warriors, not little children going, I don't like you and you're a bad person. Not that kind of keyboard warrior. But the ones who go in there and do the reverse image search and then go find the receipts. And by the way, Alex Preddy has photos of him showing off in women's clothes. So again, he is just like the groiper or just like the dresser, the same as the person who assassinated or supposedly assassinated Charlie Kirk. And the same type of groiper, top, bottom, sexual depravity type stuff with them. He's showing up in dresses and boots. And the guy who's told Pam Bondi to come out and, hey, come arrest me. He's got the same kind of photos.
Yes.
So we're seeing it's a simple, we think, we go, oh, it's the blue hairs. It's all the ring, nose rings and all the piercings and the guys. It is. There is something about the mental break in these individuals that they join this group over here and they do this trauma bonding thing with each other. And then but now we're finding out that these are very broken people.
Yes.
Right.
And I don't want to say they've a lot of them do make choices and they've made choices to get to that point and they can make those choices backwards to get out of it. But the sad part of it is I feel bad for them first as a human being, as the humanity of the human. That what happened? Where were you neglected? Where were you abused? Where were you overused? What was taken from you? What was too much for you? And let's talk about that. Don't worry about what ICE is doing. Just because that gives you an identity and something to do. Let's talk about why you need to put on a girl's dress, sir. Let's talk about why you need to be a part of this. Why do you need to track down ICE? What is it that you don't want us to see? And so, again, there is guys, the MO of these people over and over again with the blue hairs and these guys that cross dress and the groipers and the tops, the bottoms, all this furry stuff. Hey, dude, enjoy yourself. Enjoy it. But just don't bring it in the public space. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I wouldn't know that Freddie had all those pictures out there of him in dresses if he hadn't posted them on the internet.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of trauma bonding, I believe, and it's pulling these people out. And so I feel like they're just so frustrated with their entire lives that it's making them almost choose and make bad decisions, for where they are in this process.
Well, they want to belong.
They want to belong. Absolutely. Like everybody does. Right.
Absolutely.
Well, real quick, guys, Julie, if you can read this for the audience real quick, speaking of all the corruption out there in this country, I want to share a tribute that my friend Jeanette Finnegan did. You know anything about Lavoy Finicum?
I don't think I do. I haven't heard that name.
So that was the Bundy standoff for the
Oh,
ranch, for the
right. Okay.
ranchers and all that.
Right. Right.
And Jeanette did a special tribute for her husband,
Yes.
Lavoy, yesterday. So if you can read this to the audience, Julie, I'd appreciate it.
Sure. And
Let's see.
Jim, we're going to want to hear your story with the FBI.
Okay.
This is very somewhat similar.
Okay, so that's Jeanette Finicum right there.
Okay. All right. So 10 years ago today, the Obama's FBI hostage rescue team and OSP killed my husband, Lavoy Finicum, murdered him, shot him 3 times in the back while he exercised the universal sign of surrender, hands high in the air. Needless to say that over these 10 years, our family has been through a lot. Our country has been through a lot. So much so that it is hard keeping up with the pace of chaos, confusion, and destruction taking place taking place. If we're not careful and mindful, this chaos will destroy our freedom, peace, and happiness individually and collectively. What was most important to Lavoy was his relationship with his Heavenly Father, his family, and this country, in that order. Please scroll up. Okay. Lavoy believed in God. He loved and honored God. He followed God's laws. He was faithful. He taught our children about God and treated his fellow man with the love of God. Forever an amazing example. Lavoy was an amazing husband and father. He considered being a father his most important role. He loved each of his 12 children and spent all his time with us. We were his priority in life. At the time of his death, we had 19 grandchildren. He continues to live on through his posterity as it grows to 47 grandchildren and counting. He lives on in us. Families are forever. Lavoy was a man of principle and integrity. He saw his Oregon neighbor suffering, the Hammonds, and went to help them. He lost his life there in Oregon, standing for what he believed was an injustice. A brave man, a true patriot. Today, I want to tune out all the negative, destructive rhetoric we're constantly bombarded with. I want to focus on the positive, optimistic, hopeful, uniting aspects of our community. Lavoy was a loving, motivating, positive, selfless man. He saw the best in people. He believed in standing to preserve our Constitution. He hoped and prayed for our country, and he believed that God was in charge. I want to close thanking all of you. Thank you for being here for us these long 10 years. Thank you for supporting the legal battle in all the different ways you did. Thank you for loving me and my family through the most horrific time of our lives. Thank you for your personal commitment to this country's success. Scroll up, please. Take courage. Stand. God is in charge. With much love and respect, Jeanette Finicum, one cowboy's wife.
Yeah. And that's a picture of Lavoy Finicum right there with Jeanette Finicum.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anyways, I just wanted to bring that up today in recognition of Lavoy Finicum. Lavoy was an outstanding Christian man, a great patriot. If you ever watch the footage of that, Jim, you'll see that was actually cold blood murder. They set up an ambush for him as he was going to meet with the sheriff to have a discussion, which the sheriff had all lined up. And I watched the actual footage from the people recording that was with them in the vehicle, because they kept firing upon the vehicle when these people were unarmed as well after they shot Lavoy. Just what you witness is unbelievable, and that was under a very corrupt FBI at the time, and just so much crap. And I understand you had some issues as well.
Yeah. Well, and let me give you a little bit of something about law enforcement or any of these things in general, is that they are not transparent and they're not forthcoming with their wrongs and their rights or things that they need to do, better. And that's where we're failing in our why the FBI, the NSA, the CIA, all these things seem so very rogue. They have their own, by the way, guys, they have their own financial system that they have set up to bring money in through drugs, through other things. The CIA, NSA, FBI, they have their own revenue streams.
Right.
Yeah, they've been doing it for years.
Absolutely. Yep. That's where you see blockchain and other things coming into that. But when I see these kind of things or these reports like this, and I did get into that that whole standoff of things, and really what it is just no one wanted to back down. And here's the problem: when the government is not willing to back down, the only thing left is to kill you.
Yes.
That is where we have to really, like the whole thing with the guy getting shot in Minnesota, Mr. whatever, Alex, whatever his name is. The sad part of it is that, there was a lot of things that he could have done right, but he made multiple mistakes going in. One, he brought a gun. Then he brought 2 magazines. Then he had it one in the chamber. Then he had it on his body. Then he didn't have his concealed carry permit. Then he went engaged with a cop that was engaged with somebody else. Then he didn't identify himself as a card carrying concealed carry person. And then he did engage in a conflict with the officer. That's 8 right there.
Right.
So, so the problem is that individual did a lot of mistakes going forward. But the problem is that when you see cops react in that moment, when they say gun, 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 there is a certain amount of their training that goes into when they hear a shot fired, they hear gun, gun, gun. There's an automatic draw, shoot at the person. That's the problem. And that's very muscle memory. They do that in their training over and over again. But why is it that we know that it's like 1/3 of the police training is learning how to lie to somebody? Why do we know that? Well, the problem is that it's slipped out, right? But the bad part of it is, why would they need to lie to us? If they want us to be fully honest and forthright, if it's a felony for me to lie to them, then why is it not a felony for them to lie to me?
Exactly.
And so there's a lot I'm just kind of picking all this apart, and I'm not against law enforcement. That's not the point.
Yeah.
No.
I want transparency. When you screw up, I know of a Sedgwick County sheriff that was going to pick a guy up for a failure to appear for a bench warrant, which is for it was a driving infraction.
Right.
The guy shot him. They met in a parking. He met him in a parking lot, pulled him over. He got out. The guy had a cell phone in his hand. The police or the Sedgwick County sheriff shot him, emptied his magazine, cleared it, put another one in, racked it, and unloaded the other magazine into the guy. How much threat do you have to unload 2 magazines into a human being?
No.
So my point is that we're seeing this right? We're seeing this aggression but again, we have a problem now. We have people that have cell phones that are black and I didn't know it was in his hand, this and that. That's not really a good excuse. Well, my life, their life. I don't know, sir. You're a servant, and that guy actually is your boss, whether you like it or not. He is a citizen, and he has more rights than you do because you're a public servant. You don't get to shoot him willingly. You don't get to do that and say, well, it's either me or him. Well, no, you're not. Just because you're the law doesn't make you right. And we can split hairs over that later. But let's go back to the FBI, CIA, NSA, and all those things. And this shooting of this gentleman, the sad part of it is when a government comes and it starts rolling, it doesn't know how to stop until it concludes itself, either through whatever means it needs. And that means to kill you. So let's go to my story real quick. This happened back in 2018. May 17th, my birthday. It was a Friday. I had gone and had coffee with my friends that morning at Starbucks at Harry and Rock Road in Wichita, Kansas. Sat down, and Ben Burgess was the Sedgwick County sheriff or Sedgwick County judge. I haven't ever said his name out loud. I did that this morning. Anyway, I said, "Hey, Ben, he said, hey, Jim, I heard it's your birthday. Happy birthday, buddy. Good, hope you have a great day." He signed the no-knock warrant on my house that morning at 6 a.m. And then he had the administrative judge for Sedgwick County seal and redact that probable cause statement. And it cost me $100,000, 3 different attorneys, and a year's time to get that unsealed and unredacted. Now, that's not even the story, right? That's not even the story. So I come home after coffee. It's my birthday. I got a couple things I got to do. Got some work I got to get done. And then I'm going to, have a birthday dinner, enjoy myself for the evening. It's a Friday, right? Woo. And 10 a.m. I see these guys come running, these cops come running across my front yard. I see at the picture window here. So I go over to grab the door handle, and they hit the handle. The battering ram hits the handle into my hand, and I back up, and I'm like this because I know, again, what you said, the universal sign for I give up is hands above, right? Hands up.
Right. Right.
Now, the liberals taught us, hold hands up, don't shoot, Well, the guy said, if you move, I'll blow your effing brains out.
Wow.
So this is all over a suspicion that there was pot in the house. So the thing is the guy said he was going to blow my effing brains out if I moved for pot. So, but the point of it was, guys, is the reason they actually came in is because they went to Ben Burgess because he was looking for a federal appointment, and he thought he would get a little comeuppance if he does the right thing for the right people. So they went to him to sign it, even though he had a conflict of interest because he knew me personally. Guys, I ran for office, and that's why they came after me. I ran for Kansas State Senate, a state Senate position that pays $13,000 a year. It's not a position that makes $180,000 and blah 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 blah. This is a simple 3 months in the spring, 3 months in the fall. You do it part time. I was like, hey, civic duty. I'm gonna go and run for state senate. Why not? But my life was torn apart because they don't know how to stop. And you know what I end up here, guys? You want to get what? This is why I say this. When they don't know how to stop, they only know to go to conviction, right? I was convicted for paraphernalia. You know what paraphernalia is? Paraphernalia is a digital scale in an extra bedroom in my house. I had a digital scale in my house, and there was pot in my son's room. The digital scale is for distribution. So I was convicted of paraphernalia for distribution. I was never convicted of drugs. I was never convicted of possession. I was never convicted of dealing. I was convicted for paraphernalia for a digital scale in my house. So this is when we go, they go so far one direction, they don't know, they can't stop themselves. They were trying to cover up for themselves. They were trying to make sure that I was broke. And so that's what they did. They made sure, and I had to sell everything off. I lost my security clearances. I lost my jobs. I lost my social groups. I lost all my investments. People were like, hey, you're a drug dealer. They wrote the news article about it. But remember I told you I got arrested in May?
Yeah.
Want to know when they published the article?
When?
The last weekend of October, right before the election.
Oh,
of course,
really?
Of course.
So again, it's but they had dropped the charges. So think about this. In May, they had dropped the charges, and they still wrote the article in October, the last week of October, that a Thursday right before the election.
Did you sue them over that, Jim?
I don't have the money to, bro. I mean, I wish I was able to have an attorney, but they all want money up front. They don't do pro bono on that because it is going against the state, and the state has all the money they want, and they have all the time they need. The judges and this, they're going to go as far as they want to go. The judges will let them delay while your attorney bilks you for money. So yes, if I had an attorney step up and wanted to go against the state, go after the county judge who sealed and redacted my probable cause statement, the unethical portion of it for the signing of the no-knock warrant, why the no-knock warrant was even issued to begin with, the reasoning, who the confident informants really were, these kind of things. And then again, they just made up a lot of things. Oh, we have a confident informant. Oh, well, who is the CI that you have?
Right.
And so it's always but it's always after, right? It was never in the probable cause statement that there was confident informants. It's always after they talk about that. Oh, well, we have confident informants can back up our story.
Yeah, right.
So in other words, their main goal was to come in and try to destroy you. Obviously, you must have been intimidating them because they were afraid of you.
Look at this. Those big muscles, your buddy. I'm a real Adonis here,
Well, when I say intimidating, you know what I mean.
I know.
No,
you're exactly right.
It's people like us that they want to silence.
Well, I'm not going to be bought out. I'm not going to take the money. I'm not going to be Ted Cruz and bend the knee to Israel. I'm not going to be any of that. If anything, I'm going to be like Thomas Massey, who lives off grid in Kentucky with his wife who cans and does all the stuff. And they homeschool their kids. They're off the grid. They have no electricity, no phones. And I think they have Starlink for internet so he can have internet when he's at home. But I mean, guys, I would be more of a Thomas Massey if I was given an example of what it's like. And he is the guy who's got us the Epstein files and the Epstein files. And I mean, how many releases have we had?
Right.
I mean, so just like 2 weeks ago, we just had another release of a whole bunch of emails, 800 emails from Hillary Clinton talking about Benghazi and stuff alone. But anyway, so the idea is, yes, it was a guy like myself. They call it a litmus test. So I go up to Julie, I go up to you, John. I say, hey, and I was talking to you, hey, how do you feel about, the price of fish in China? You're like, oh, we shouldn't be dealing with China because of this and that. And like, oh, I got a good read on what you feel about China. Well, there was is this a guy we can buy off? Is this a guy that can be bought? And the answer was no. I will not be bought. I will not. And guys, if you kill me, you're the killer. That's as simple as that. And if they would have put a bullet in my head in my own house, that would have made them the killer. And I would, and again, just like the guy that they shot in this standoff where it wasn't really a standoff, but the idea that they shot him in the back. I mean, that really tells you the cowardness of our own government. And the sad part of it is these people are off the hinge. FBI, NSA, CIA, the county sheriffs, the city guys, everybody the 15 police officers that came into my house. Hey, I only have 1,500 square feet on the main floor here. I'm in the basement here, but on the main floor.
So is it one person per 100 feet?
Yeah. They can just touch each other with their arms.
Yeah. Let's set up the grid. He's a danger to us. Oh my God.
Everybody. Oh, but by the way, all those guys that came in the thing, they were on the Brady Giglio list, which means they cannot testify in open court. Which means if I would have taken them to court, I said, I need the person that was in my house. Oh, he's not available because he's perjured himself. See, all of them had perjured themselves, so they were already tainted material coming into my house, and they knew.
Whoa. Then why are they even got a damn badge on if that's the case?
Because it happens all across the entire country. There's a Brady Giglio list for every single sheriff and city, and also the FBI, NSA. They have a list of their own internals that cannot testify in open court, so they make sure they let them do some dirty work, but don't make them available for court.
Right.
Wow.
Well, Jim, I could actually almost relate to you about some of the corruption. Recently, I had a person conduct a hit and run on me here in my driveway, and they stole my dog. I actually called 911, could not even get 911 to respond. I mean, they never showed up.
Right.
I actually went down and interrogated the sheriffs at the sheriff's department. I've got it all on recording, everything in the book. But at the same time, it just goes to show you, this is almost like just a setup system is what it is. And it's sad. It's sad what we're witnessing here in America. And what happened to you, my friend, is very unacceptable. And are you past the statute of limitations?
I'm not past the statute of limitations on going after them. I think it's like 7 to 10 years. So we're still.
I've got a friend who has a law corner out in Idaho,
right?
Which might be good for you because he would be happy to work with you. I know he would.
Yeah,
and I would definitely pursue this if I was you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I'm
gonna get you.
If they were willing to do that, what happens when I start to go after them or their immunity? You know, what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Right.
Or their retirements, right? So that's the sad part of this, guys. That's where they will kill you.
Right.
That's the sad part of this, guys. My risk is not they're going to run an article or it's going to be a drawn out trial or they're going to talk about my feet pictures on my OnlyFans or whatever. I'm just kidding. But, it's the fact that they'll just kill you. They will just find a way to kill you. You will come up on a car accident. You will suicide yourself. You will have had a heart attack. We all know about the heart attack gun that was developed in the 40s and 50s. We know that this is all part. We know this. We know the snake venom. Yeah. What do you think the snake venom was, guys? The snake venom was the COVID was the heart attack gun. It was they just put it into an aerosol. They put it in the water. The guys, they know what they were doing. They were dumbing us down, making us sick, making us ineffective.
Yeah.
And why is it
Yes.
they want us to not be our best? Have you ever asked yourself that? Why is it they're always trying to kill us? Fluoride, chemtrails, foods, medical treatment.
Population
There's so
control.
many of us. Yeah. Too many of us and not enough of them, because they know if we were all in our right minds, we would never stand for this.
There you go.
Ever.
There you
Yep.
go.
Ever.
And that's why they got us. So they know they
Yes.
keep us sick. They keep us on Ozempic and all these other weight loss GLP shit. And in reality is to just up your salt. But guys, I have had clients of mine literally just up their salt between 2 to 5 teaspoons a day, and they've shed 50 pounds. The point
Yeah.
of it is that we keep going to them for all the answers, and yet they keep killing us. And it's like, that's stupid.
Yes.
We vote for the axe. The forest votes for the axe because the handle's made out of wood.
Right.
No.
Oh, speaking of which, you just got out of the hospital. What about a week ago now?
It's been a couple weeks. 2 weeks. So
2 weeks,
2
I
weeks.
think.
yeah.
So, well, you're looking good. How are you feeling?
Looking good for how shitty you were.
From the neck up, I'm
Just
amazed.
from the neck up. Yeah.
It has New Year's morning, I got up and just went, did the usual thing, get up, get a pinch of salt. When I say a pinch of salt, it's about a teaspoon of salt. Swig it down with some water first thing on my stomach in the morning, and I do that throughout the day. And I felt like I was having a little dry heave. Sometimes salt is such a purifier, and there's any bad stuff in your stomach, some leftovers from the night before, some black stuff, some goo, the salt will go in there and it'll purge it out. It'll make you throw up. And so there's times I've taken the salt and I'm like, oh God, and I'll throw up some like mucus or phlegm or something that was just kind of in my stomach, wasn't good for me. Well, anyway, I went in and had a couple dry heaves. I was like, oh God, I don't know what that was about. But anyway, so I went to go back to bed. Next thing I wake up, and in my side back here, I thought I had passed out because I woke up on the floor. I had passed out from a kidney stone because I get jack stones. They're the pokey ones.
Right.
And I'm like, oh God, the kidney stone is coming down. It's dropping. And I've had them that, I'm telling you, like, Lord, take me kind of deal. Like, it's bad. And I got, God, I even got in a magnesium bath. I'm like, I got to relax. I got to slow this down. And I was like, I'm getting out of breath. I don't know what's going on. And I'm like, that's it. I'm going to the hospital. So I didn't go to the VA. This is Thursday, New Year's morning.
Okay.
So I'm like, I don't want to go to the VA. I'm going to go to Andover over here. It's just a suburb hospital. And we'll go in there. It's like, hey, I got a kidney stone really bad, I guess. And they're like, okay, well, let's get you in. We'll get an X-ray. And they were pretty quick about getting me in. There's nobody in there. And so the doctor comes back and I'm like, oh God, I'm hurting really bad. He goes, sir, you don't have a kidney stone. You have 7 fractures and a punctured lung. What did you do? And I'm like, oh, I fell. I didn't know. I thought I was having an acute kidney stone pain, that made me pass out. And he's like, no, we got to get you to trauma right now. We've got an ambulance on the way. We're going to get you to St. Francis. It's the Schedule 1
hospital, right?
And so I'm like, so I start crying a little bit, I'm like trying to get my shit together. I'm like, I got fractured rib, a hole in my lung. And I'm like, oh, is that why I'm having a hard time breathing? Oh yeah, that's exactly why you're having a hard time breathing.
Wow.
Like, and so rush off, get in the bus, ambulance, run over, lights and sirens. They take me in there. Now, guys, listen, if anybody out there is an architect or an interior designer, please put something on the ceiling of your operating rooms, your ambulance bays, your trauma room, because looking at a warehouse ceiling while you're thinking you're dying is really not the last thing you wanted to see.
Right.
I was like, they're talking about, you may die here, we got to intubate you, all this stuff. And I'm like,
oh my God.
I'm looking at ductwork and wires. Like, can we have done this anywhere else? Like, so the miracle, there's several miracles, guys. Let me give you the miracles of this story. So as I'm laying there, they roll you can hear, they take the knives and they roll them out, the utensils for the surgery. And the guy's asking me, hey, if we're going to be intubating you, if you were to have any type of crisis, do you want us to use heroic efforts to bring you back? I'm like, yeah, it's a broken rib. I mean, what are we talking about here? Yes, I want to be brought back. Like, What are you?
Wow.
Anyway, so I'm start crying about that. I'm like all this emotion going on. And I hear this conversation in this left-hand corner by my feet over here. I don't know how far away they were, if they were 2 feet or 20 feet, I don't know, but I could just kind of hear this. And this guy's like, okay, end of life, is it okay if we give you blood? And I'm like, yes. Like, what are we talking about? Well, there's a really good chance you start bleeding and we'll need to give you blood and all this. I didn't want to get into the whole COVID, don't give me shitty blood conversation, but I'm like, yes, give me blood. And so anyway, so it's just this, and I'm listening, and I start hearing this conversation over here, and then all of a sudden I hear the doctor coming over. I can hear him walking over, and he goes, "Sir, we looked at your X-rays in Andover. We looked at our X-rays here. And by the way, another thing, medical technologists, whoever you designers are of the equipment, can we figure out how to get a X-ray tray that you don't have to get up onto while you have broken ribs to take an X-ray? Can we not just slide it under the table somehow? Because that's horrible. Like every day I had to have an X-ray when I was in ICU, and you had to lean. I had to get up. I had to lay flat. I had to lean up and then get the underneath my back where it's super cold and I have broken ribs. I got to lay there and hold my breath and don't move. I'm like, can we do something different with that? Anyway. So he's like, nothing has changed in your lung. It looks like everything is stabilized. Would it be okay if we put you on observation and hold off on the surgery? I'm like, yes. Do not cut me open. He's like, are you sure? I'm like, yes. No, I don't. He goes, because it was a chest tube, 7 plates, and a lung patch. And I said, no. I said, let's just wait. And so Miracle 1, when I fell, I hit the toilet, the edge of the toilet on my elongated toilet. I fell back and I hit that on my side, which kept me from directly hitting my head on the cast iron tub, which would have probably killed me. And then Miracle 2, 3, and 4 was no chest tube, no plates, and no lung patch. So these are all miracles in the middle of all that. And then I spent 6 days in ICU. But here, let me give you this: 2 days of sipping water with no food because they wanted to make sure the lung was patched or was healing itself. And if I had to go to emergency surgery, they didn't want any food on my stomach, so I couldn't eat.
Wow.
So basically, they don't feed you for 2 days at the hospital.
Yeah.
Lovely. Not that we like that food anyway, but God.
Well, it's really good to see you're doing so much better, Jim.
Yes.
Wow. Sounds like you've been through the ringer.
Well, it's been a hell of a year, folks, and so everything else is up from here, right? If we start out in ICU, we just go on there.
Right.
I think God is definitely looking over you.
Yeah. Definitely. And for the future, I have a home remedy for kidney stones that has worked in 4 of my friends.
Right.
It's a liter of Coca-Cola and steamed asparagus.
Oh, I've heard of that. Yes. I know.
You eat the steamed asparagus and you drink the Coca-Cola, and the combination of the two breaks up the stones. Yeah. I've had 4 friends use this, and in every situation, it's broken the stone up enough that they could then pass it within 24 to 48 hours.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, he did tell me that I don't have any kidney stones coming at all. So he's like, you don't have any stones. I'm like, oh, well, I have been living right. I thought I changed all my diet. I changed my lifestyle. I've gotten myself better.
Yeah.
Like,
no stones.
Yeah, but no stones. So
broken rib.
Hole in the lung. We're fine.
Dang.
Right.
Well, glad to see you're doing well.
Yeah. Are you planning any trips out here, Jim, to Arizona?
I hope to. There is a couple holistic fairs in California, so I'll be driving through Phoenix. And so I did have a plan. Actually, it was going to be this week. I was going to be in Arizona, but it probably looks like it's going to be the middle of February now. Well, it'll be obviously because of the injury.
well, if you make that trip here, I'd love to take you on a border tour. Also love to maybe, because I'm arranging with Sheriff Wilmot out of Yuma for a ride along as well. He's going to take us into some areas.
Right.
Knowing with the cartel.
Yeah.
And I'd love to bring you along with us. And
Absolutely.
if you'd like to do a live broadcast on your show, you're more than welcome to do it on your show at the same time.
Oh, absolutely. I'm
So
actually doing simulcast with you guys right now. I'm pushing it out on all my
Great.
stuff too. So
per-
Awesome. Thank you.
perfect. So for you, those of you out there in our viewing audience, if you don't know about the Jim Price Show, you got to check him out. He's on Facebook. And what other streams are you out there on, Jim?
Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. I just started my YouTube channel back up. So everybody's saying
Right.
it's safe now. So I'm back up there again.
Good.
I lost 2 channels there long ago, so I quit doing it. But Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Rumble, D Live, Twitch, Apple, iTunes, Spotify. So if you guys just and here's the thing, guys, listen, I am so shadow banned. You have to put in the Jim Price Show the whole way, press search, and then you still have to find me. So I'm obviously a threat to the big tech.
Well, it's funny. It's funny you say that. So under Jonathan Townsend Alexander, which is what we broadcast live from Facebook on. Plus, we have the Your News Arizona on Facebook. We have been doing broadcast after broadcast. All of a sudden, we start hitting subjects that they don't want out there. And me and Julie, I think it was Thursday, Julie?
Thursday, yeah.
Yeah, last Thursday, me and Julie did a live broadcast that showed on our studio. It's live, but we were on a topic, and however they managed to do it, they shut the whole broadcast down, even though it's sent live on our end. So what we ended up having to do, we actually ended up switching our IP server, the whole 9 yards. Now we're using Starlink for broadcast.
There you go.
And they can't intervene on that so far. Doesn't mean they're not going to be able to figure it out.
Yeah.
But I just couldn't believe that we did an hour, 15-minute show.
Yeah, it was fantastic too.
It was a great show we had.
Yeah.
But we went back to in the studio, and it's like, wait a second.
Wait, where are we?
It's not showing that we're live on all of our networks.
Right. Yeah.
But
you're not.
Because we broadcast on YouTube, Rumble, X. I mean, we're out there on Facebook. I mean, you name it, we're out there.
Right.
Plus, I want to talk to you about being on our channel as well on Q Broadcast.
Yeah, I have a channel on Q too. So,
do you?
I can do what I could do is if you give me your stream key, I could stream to your channel too during my time slot, so it would actually stream on both.
Cool.
Yeah, so you are on Q Broadcast.
Oh yeah. I forgot I'm on Q too. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Real quick, I have a friend of mine, Megan Rubino, out there that is actually doing the Clear Skies for Arizona.
Yeah.
And they were testifying yesterday or getting ready to do a floor read on the Clear Skies bill that is being pushed through the House. So there are people out there trying to get the chemtrails to stop, but there are legislators that won't because they want the rain. So there's legislators going, no, we can't do that. We got to keep cloud seeding. It's like, okay, well, let's stop doing the chemical part then. Well, okay, we'll maybe we'll talk about that, but we need the water. We need the water. It's Arizona. I'm like, Arizona lived there for a long time before you guys thought it needed water.
Right. Right.
Anyway, but cool thing.
Yeah, go ahead, Julie.
Jim, I had a question for you from your show yesterday. You made mention about Tom Homan, that he had said some things that you weren't happy about, but then you never got around to sharing what those things might have been. Can you share that with us today?
I'm trying to think about what it is that he said or what he's done. I don't know if it was I was flipped the names in there for somebody else. Tom Homan, I met him at CPAC a couple years ago. He is exactly the person you see on the news.
Yeah.
To you when you see him, how he is, he's exactly that guy. Okay.
That's
so
cool.
He is legitimate and he believes. Now, let me give you something from 2 years ago. This almost might be 3 years ago now. I said, now, Tom, real quick, and we were in the middle of a meet and greet thing, and he wasn't being inundated by anybody. I was just able to talk to him for a minute. I said, hey, with all these people coming over the border, how many sleeper cells, or is this allowing for sleeper cells to come into our country and allow them to coordinate a strike on our country? And he goes, absolutely. Because that's what the open border is about. It has nothing to do with people. It's the people that are getting in with the people that are the sleeper cells that will do the things, the harm to our country. And that's he got real serious about that conversation when it came up.
Well,
Uh,
yeah,
but yeah,
and that's something we covered so much, Jim, down on the borders, because we've covered the Tucson sector, Arivaca,
mhm,
Sasebe, the Yuma sector, and we had been talking exactly what you're saying right there for over 4 years straight.
yeah,
And I mean, we had nothing but men fighting age coming through the border.
right,
You knew who were the terrorists. I mean, you could tell,
yeah.
and 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 during the Biden administration just gave them a wide open door to come into our country.
Well,
And
remember that gained them seats, though. Remember the House actually
yeah,
they gained seats in the Democrat side because of population changes.
yeah,
And that was because of the immigration. Because see, remember that was the lawsuits when they tried to
yeah,
do the census. They said no, only count the citizens, and then it was held up that all people were counted, not just the citizens. Which again, if we're counting for services and for votes in my legislator, it should only be citizens, not
Exactly.
right.
Right.
correct.
Right. Yep.
Uh,
Yep.
Yeah, and to top it all off, we were broadcasting about how these guys were becoming law enforcement, and people were attacking me over Facebook,
Yeah,
going,
they are.
That's not possible. That's not
California,
possible." And the
California.
next thing you know, California, New York, Washington. Next thing you know, ICE has been in there arresting these guys now.
Yeah, yeah.
As they're working.
Yeah. Oh,
So
what
I
was
mean,
the one a couple of months ago? There was a remember that the superintendent of schools that was an
yeah,
immigrant that was wanted for
yeah,
gun charges, and he was actually a superintendent of schools.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
and yet he would only been there a couple of years, and then he'd only been in the country like 5 years, but suddenly was a superintendent of schools. And I'm like, what in the like? Why are we? Guys, there are people needing jobs out there, but you're handing out jobs to foreigners who only been here a
Yeah.
couple of years.
Right.
yep.
Seriously,
Just the
that
kind of people we need teaching school.
yeah, I mean, God dang, guys. Then what you want to say? Superintendent of schools is an immigrant with gun charges. Are you guys really doing your job? Like, really? Like, is that what you're? I don't know.
Well, and it sounds like yesterday, the Department of Education folks were told to not come to work. Have you guys seen that
At the federal level?
on the federal level? Yes.
Yeah, that's been coming. I'm surprised it's taken this long to shut down the Department of Education. That was brought in by Jimmy Carter too, by the way. So he's been a real
Wow.
1971, guys. If you look at our country,
Hmm.
WEF, WHO, a lot of things were created in 1971. We went off of the absolute. We went off from the gold standard to the silver standard to the petroleum dollar in 71. That's why it took about 2 years to stabilize. We had the oil embargo, blah blah blah. 73. Guys, that beginning of the 70s. If you go back and look at the history of that and see what we're facing today, man, so much of that was laid hard into concrete in that time frame. So that's 54 years ago. I was born in 71, and as a time like this, we need to be the people that fight back. It is bad out there. So
Yes. Yeah.
Well, real quick to our viewing audience, if you guys have any questions for Jim or any of us today, feel free to call into the studio, 928-385-4738. So we welcome any questions. And other than that, yeah, Jim, I'd love to have you on our team down here on the border once, and we'll take you to some areas that I'm sure you probably haven't seen as well.
Oh, yeah.
And
well, I mean, I tell you, as a kid, I grew up in Arizona. I mean, I grew up there and here in Wichita, both. And as a kid, we never went south of Tucson because we didn't knew the border was unsafe then.
Mm-hmm.
I was a kid in the 70s and the 80s. You don't go to the border because it's not safe.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
I mean,
yeah, and that's one of the things they're telling Americans right now not to travel into Mexico.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Homeland Security is. I mean, because right now Mexico, the cartel on the Mexico side wants blood. I mean, they are very pissed off that Trump is shutting them down.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
getting rid of the boats, getting rid of the. Oh, by the way, the families of the fishermen that were blown up as they were going 110 miles an hour across the open ocean fishing are now suing the federal government for the fishermen that were fishing at 110 miles an hour with no fishing pole.
Sure.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Only in America.
How do you get to sue us for what? Like, it doesn't even
Yeah.
make sense. It's a Gulf of America. You weren't on American soil, so I don't know what to tell you there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, dude.
Well, Julie, you're gonna have to give me something for some remedy for my congestion. Because
Okay, we'll find something.
I've been fighting this now for days, and I'm sick of it. So,
Castor oil up in the nose on both sides and sniffing that in. It's you basically, and then some silver spray. You have a mold toxicity issue. Most allergies,
Really?
most congestion is actually just mold that sits in this cavity in the eyes right here. And if you get the castor oil in there, it starts pulling all the parasites and cleansing that out, gets it all moistened in there. But the silver spray gets rid of the mold, because silver and mold don't work together.
Jim, can you text that to me and I'll pick it up?
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So I do castor oil. I take a dropper, not the whole dropper full, but I take about a quarter of a dropper and I squeeze it up just past the inside your nose there, get it back in there, and I squeeze about a quarter of it, that much on both sides, and then I, do that, and you'd be surprised the stuff that comes out of your face.
I bet.
It's like, oh my gosh,
didn't know that was in there.
I got a lot of space for rent. I thought it was just the brains were missing. I didn't realize it was.
Hey, yesterday on your show, you were talking about the off-grid living and in the tiny homes and stuff. I like what you're doing out there. I mean, that's great.
Yeah, thank you. Well, that's a big part of what America really was to begin with. We were never high-rise buildings and all that. We were small farmsteads where grandma, grandpa, mom, kids, grandkids, great-grandkids all lived on the same property in the same house, like the Waltons effect, right? And so now I can't do that so much because our kids want to run off all the time. Well, I'm bringing people back. You want sanctuary, you want to hang out, you want to be cool, you want to walk around the backyard naked. I don't give a crap. Do your thing. But it's the idea. It's freedom and liberty, right? And so when we come together and we think the same way, and we think that we want to do things like, by the way, one of the requirements for living on my property is that we're going to have a monthly trip somewhere. And then once a year, we're going to have an overseas trip. Why? Because when we bring ourselves together, our bills get less. And that means we have more money to go do other things. So we're going to plan small excursions as a group, as a family, as a property. And then once a year, we're going to try to do at least a long, big trip somewhere, if it's overseas, or maybe a long trip in America somewhere. But the idea is that it's to bring people back together and have that community so that when I fall down and I don't have a lot of family, my kids, I have 3 cousins and 2 aunts that are alive. So I don't have extended family, right? Well, if my family was here, if I had 7 or 8 other people, and I don't care if they've got kids or whatever, if they're here, well, then suddenly my property's not going to go to shit when I'm not here. My dogs are going to get fed. Everything's going to be fine. I don't have to rely on one person or two. It's the family does it. So we always lifting each other, and it's always just a little easier.
Right.
I'd definitely like to come out for a visit. How many tiny homes are you putting in right now?
So we're gonna do 3 what I call glampers, and then we're gonna have a living space that's gonna have 2,000 square feet. It will be a 3-bedroom, like a house, above the garage. And then so I'm gonna build a garage with the 2,000 square feet above, and then I'm gonna put 3 units on the side of that that are 900 square feet, and those will be individuals. And so you could have 3 there, 3 there, 3 there. At minimum, that's 9 people. Now, if the people that want to share the 2,000 square feet, if they want to double up in a room, they're married or whatever, it could be up to 18 people on this property real fast. And I don't have a problem with that, because we're together. So
I'm looking at 10 acres right now, right outside of Kingman, Arizona, where I'm considering doing something like that as well.
That would be awesome. I think that'd be great.
Tiny home living is the best. Just letting you guys know. I live in a tiny home and I love it.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
If you work it out and you get yourself into that lifestyle, it's not that hard. And a lot of the stuff I have around the house here, I've got a couch and chairs and tables that I don't touch down in the basement. So do I need it, or is it here because it fills up the space?
Right.
But when we do it as a community, let's say Julie and you and I had a few people, you guys have you got to live in the tiny home spaces. I'll have 3 tiny home spaces out here along the south driveway. If you wanted to live there, you live there, but then you still have access to the main house. You still have access to the other houses. You have access to, I want to put a pool in that's next year as well, or this year. I guess it's this year now. So get a pool put in and also get the greenhouse up and going. So yeah, we're going to have people going to manage the greenhouse. They're going to be managing the yurt. They're going to be managing the garden. They're going to be managing the property, and they're all simple little tasks, and they're part of what we do for each other. So let's say Julie does come up sick and she's out in her, her glamper out here, and it's like, no, Julie, come on, we'll put you in the main house. We're going to be able to take care of you here. But that's because we can do that, right? We can do that. Right. But if Julie lives in a property over there and I'm over here and you're down there and she's over there and I'm over, I'll come by later. I'll come see you when I can. No, we live together. We live here. We're a community.
Right. Yep. Awesome.
Well, awesome. Yeah. You are doing some really great things out there. That's for sure.
I'm trying.
And I'm going to pick your brain for some of the ideas when I get this going myself.
I think yeah, absolutely. Kingman's a great place. And if you get it set up right, people could really enjoy themselves. And like what I'm doing on this property is my initial layout. And then I want to Xerox this, and go and do other properties the same way and manage them in the same way that, hey, you are going to be healthy. Yeah, you can drink and do some, have fun stuff or whatever. But the idea is that we're working on health. We're working on being good for each other. We're working on being open and authentic and real. And if you're not going to be that, we'll vote you off the island.
Well, I will definitely be picking your brain on this.
Exactly. Simple as that.
Yep. Good one.
Well, guys, it looks like we are a little over our hour.
Yeah, that went fast. Yeah. Thanks for coming on, Jim. Really appreciate it.
Sorry for being all congested, Jim.
You're doing great, man. Don't worry about that.
My sinuses.
But
other than that, God bless you and all the work you do out there as well. I appreciate your patronage and just all the stuff that you're kind of like me. Nobody shuts you down. You got something to say. Getting the truth out is all that matters to us.
Absolutely.
No matter who tries to silence us.
And you guys are doing great work out there, getting up in the morning and doing the show and getting out there and talking about things. So that's awesome. You guys are a part of that. And like I said, maybe what I'll do, John, is I'll send you over some of the information that they have about that Clear Skies, Arizona, so you can get chemtrails and stuff in the legislation that's good. That's actually been read into the House. So,
great.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, we were just talking about weather modifications and all the stuff on our show. Mm-hmm. That's the one that they blocked.
Surprise!
Well, Julie helped
out. The receipts. All I'm showing were receipts from the patent office. I was cracking up, man.
Yeah. Julie really gave me a good lesson about how long this has been going. I had no idea that this has been going on since the 1700s. And when she provided all the facts in hand, I was just like, this is unbelievable.
Yeah.
They've shown it on the Waltons. They showed it on Little House on the Prairie. They showed it on Gunsmoke. All these old Westerns, they have these guys come in and seed the clouds with sound and different things like that.
Yeah.
All these different cowboy shows always talk about cloud seeding and bringing the rain in. And, we do the big boom and it brings the rain clouds in. And,
I had no idea they were actually talking about, really, that's hilarious.
Little House on the Prairie even did it. Yeah.
I'll be darned.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's people have been wanting to figure out how to modify the weather for a long, long time. And here's one thing I think you need to look into, Julie. And I haven't been able to find this actual formulation change yet, but I do believe they changed the formula of jet fuel, say they're taking out fluorocarbons out of the jet fuel, but by them changing the formula of the jet fuel when it goes into the combustion chamber and it changes through the firing, right, and goes out, it's a different chemical. But then that chemical, when they use the silver iodide to activate it, they activate against each other. So the commercial jets, they lay the big blanket down every day all across America, right? And then they go up there and they just go little silver iodide. It's called silver iodide is what they spray. And that's what causes the larger ice crystals to form. But if you have it pre-set up with all the jet fuel, exhaust that they formulated to make it primed for the silver iodide. The silver iodide always takes effect, just like it happened when they killed those little kids on 4th of July in Texas.
Wow.
That was a cloud seeding situation.
Wow.
Well, I just got educated some more. Thank you.
Well, and now the snow that we just had, I did a little test of, and it burned black and smelled like plastic. And then now I'm learning that we're finding some similar traits within that snow, traits that are being found in the COVID vaccine.
Right. How about have we figured out where who's buying all the glitter to refract the sun's energy away from the earth?
So there's many people on that.
So
on that one.
If you aerosol glitter into the sky, it's going to reflect back the waves of energy coming from the sun. So you're going to change the color of the sun and the effectiveness of the sun.
Newsom's been doing that out in California already. He's been caught doing that.
What the hell could possibly go wrong with that? Right?
Yeah, what could go wrong?
Don't worry about this. Yeah, don't worry about that. It's fine.
Well, people always ask, how are you doing? And I say, I'm fabulous, above ground and not in a FEMA camp. Thank you very much.
Right.
I think the FEMA camps were probably more for our refugees, but anyway, that was my thought on that. But guys, there's been plans to get us in cages, and it's easier to kill you than deal with you. So
true that. Well, again, thank you so much, Jim. Appreciate your time. Great to see you. And Jonathan, good to see you too. I've got to run. I've got another meeting to run to. So wonderful. Thanks, guys.
And Jim, we'll definitely have to have you back on our show again sometime soon.
Anytime, sir. Anytime you need.
I love having you on here.
We can do that, sir.
So anyways, want to thank everyone for tuning in today. Thanks for joining Jonathan and Julie D in the morning. We'll be live again tomorrow, 10 a.m. Mountain Time, 9 Pacific. And so stay tuned for more broadcasts. All right, guys. God bless you guys. Appreciate you guys tuning in today.
Bye-bye.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Have a great day.